Hi, I'm Kalashian for Live and Invest Overseas, and today we're talking about Cyprus. So Cyprus is the third largest island in the Mediterranean, and it's full of white sand beaches, surrounded by warm water, enjoys year-round sunshine, and has one of the healthiest diets in the world. It's already a very popular holiday spot for Europeans, especially the Brits, and it has quickly become a retirement haven for expats from around the world as well, including from the United States and Canada, increasingly year by year. So, because you might not know that much about Cyprus already, here are 8 fun facts about this wonderful little island country. Number 1, 80% of Cypriots speak English. The island's official languages are Greek and Turkish, but English, even though it's not an official language, is the lingua franca between the two official languages. And it's really rare to meet somebody who doesn't speak it. Usually that would be somebody who's much, much older. English was the official language from 1878 to 1960, during the period that the island was ruled by the British, and it continued to be used in courts until 1989 and in legislation until 1996. So clearly, as you can see, English is very well grounded in this country, in this culture, and there's a foundation of it throughout the laws, the legislation, and everything going on legally as well. Even though today things would be in Greek or Turkish, there is this very strong presence of English and history of English. Bonus fact about the things that the British left behind, this is also a country where they drive on the left because of the British influence while they were here. So not only is English very widely spoken, even among locals, but a lot of signs, ads, menus, etc. are also going to be in English. So you really won't have a hard time getting by at all here in English. Foreigners make up over 110,000 of the 1.2 million person population. Many of these are British, and English, of course, is the common language between residents of all nationalities anyway. So again, English is really the kind of in-use language here when it comes to being a foreigner. When speaking in English, though, keep in mind that the American or the Canadian accents are not as well known to Cypriots. They're much more familiar with the British or even the Australian accent. So if you're having a hard time being understood, maybe speak a little slower. Number 2, it is home to Greek gods. I am a huge fan of Greek mythology. I spent a lot of time studying it. I absolutely love it. And a lot of Greek mythology played out on and around the island of Cyprus, earning it the nickname the playground of the gods. Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and beauty, was said to be born from the waters right off of Paphos on the island's western coast. And there's, to this day, a rock called Aphrodite's Rock, where it is believed that she emerged from the water, and you can still visit that today. If you swim around the rock 3 times, it is said that you will have fertility and true love in your life. Aphrodite is also said in some myths to have met her lover Adonis here, what is now called Aphrodite's Baths, which is on the Akamas Peninsula. And underneath an old fig tree is a small natural pool where Aphrodite would regularly bathe, it is said. And one day, Adonis stopped for a drink of water underneath this tree, and he and the goddess fell in love immediately. So wonderful little stories of mythology playing out here on Cyprus. Number 3, Cyprus boasts 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, which may not sound like a huge number, but consider the size of this island. This is a very, very small island, so it's quite a claim to fame to have 3 on such a small territory. So history is all around you in Cyprus, no matter what culture, what era, you're looking for. A lot of them pass through this little island. For such a small place, as I say, it has an impressive number of really worthwhile archaeological sites, tourism sites, and of course these UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So Paphos, which I mentioned as the birthplace of Aphrodite, is Cyprus's first UNESCO site. It's an archaeological treasure trove, and it's been inhabited, this little corner of the island, since the Neolithic period. So lots of history there. There are endless ruins to discover, the remains of villas, palaces, theaters, castles, churches, tombs, you name it, you're going to find it here. The Paphos mosaics are some of the finest examples of ancient mosaics in the Eastern Mediterranean, and are definitely worth a visit, especially if you're interested in this kind of period of history. The painted churches in the Troodos region are Cyprus's second UNESCO heritage site. This region of the island of the country has one of the largest collections of ruins from the Byzantine era. And third is Koirokoitia. I hope I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly. It's a Neolithic settlement that has been a critical discovery for archaeologists, and it's shed a ton of light on the evolution of human society as far back as the 7th century BC. So for any history buffs out there, this is a wonderful place to come. Number 4, it is home to the oldest wine in the world. Commandaria, made in the foothills of the Troodos Mountains, is the oldest wine that has been in continuous production in the world. It is amber colored. It is a sweet wine made for desserts. It is made with 2 specific kinds of grape that are native to Cyprus, the Zinisteri and the Mavro grapes, which are sun-dried to increase their sugar content before they are fermented, which gives the wine its distinctive sweetness. The records of this wine being made date back to 800 BC, where the Greek poet Hesiod referenced a sweet sun-dried wine, and its name and origin are now protected by the EU and can only be produced by 14 different villages in the Troodos region to truly be Commandaria wine. Before we continue, I want to tell you really quickly about a free webinar that we have coming up next week all about Cyprus. Cyprus is not just a lifestyle haven, it's also an incredible and already proven investment location. In fact, my family and I invested here a few years ago, and our property doubled in value in just 2 years. We've now located another area in the country that is set to show these same levels of profit, and we're hosting a free webinar next week on July 8th to tell you all about it. You can register with a single click very easily and with no commitment. Just click that link on your screen. All right, let's get back to it. So we are talking about a Mediterranean island. It is very hot all year long, tons of sun, yet you can ski here. Yes, this is a Mediterranean island with ski resorts. In the winter, the Troodos Mountains that I've mentioned are high enough to offer 4 kilometers of ski slopes. So maybe not the longest runs in the world and not the most intricate courses, but there is an opportunity to ski here, which is very cool if you're living on a Mediterranean island. Number 6, I mentioned in the very beginning that the diet here is the healthiest in the world. So it is, of course, the Mediterranean diet. It is scientifically proven to be the healthiest in the world, and it's a delicious way of eating very naturally here in Cyprus. Believe me, you're not going to go hungry or want for flavor or think or feel like you're dieting here. You might lose weight without trying, but you won't feel like you're depriving yourself, that's for sure. The Med diet is great for joint health, stronger bones, a healthier heart, and longer life. It reduces the risk of diabetes, high cholesterol, dementia, memory loss, depression, and breast cancer. And it's associated with fewer signs of Alzheimer's disease in the brains of older adults. So a wonderful way to spend your life eating, no matter what age you come to this part of the world, it will have a significant impact on your health. And so the diet is based pretty much on simple plant-based cooking with lots of leafy greens. And the majority of each meal is usually focused on fruits and vegetables, whole grains, beans, seeds, a few nuts, and lots of extra virgin olive oil. Red meat, eggs, dairy, and poultry are eaten in much smaller quantities and not nearly as often as fish and seafood. So really, after your plant-based foods, you're going to go straight to fish here. And the fish and the seafood is out of this world. The most traditional dessert that you would eat here is candied fruit or nuts. And to enjoy them like a local, you should drop one in your glass of water as you're eating, swirl it a few times, and then fish out the little candy at the bottom to eat, and then drain the glass of the very sugary now water. And so, that just goes to show that, people aren't eating cakes. They're not eating dairy-filled desserts. They're not eating a lot of chocolate even. This is really as natural as it gets when it comes to desserts. And it's just as much the style of eating here as it is the actual foods themselves, because social interaction during meals and daily exercise are also the cornerstones of the Mediterranean way of life. Walking around your village, walking to markets to shop, and spending long leisurely meals with family and friends where you're talking, listening to music, getting up to dance. You don't just sit down for 20 minutes and have something quickly. You don't eat while you're on the go. And that goes a long way towards what we now are calling mindful eating, but really just means appreciating the activity that you're doing right now instead of scarfing down something and being hungry an hour later because you weren't even really aware of what you were eating. Sitting over a couple of hours and having a nice meal full of salads and fruits, that'll fill you up in the long term. And then you round it out with a little bit of seafood or some barbecue, perhaps. All right, number 7, Cyprus is home to some of the best rated beaches in Europe. Blue Blue flags are awarded to beaches and marinas with high levels of quality, safety, environmental education, and environmental management. And in 2023, 77 of Cyprus's official 123 swimming beaches were awarded blue flags, along with 2 of their marinas. The bathing waters here are deemed of excellent quality by the EU. And this all just kind of adds up to say, these are excellent beaches. The water quality is also excellent. You're not going to be faced with some of the other ecological or environmental issues that you might be in other beaches. And number 8, little fun fact, they have their own trademarked cheese. You've probably heard of halloumi. You might have eaten it, seen it on a menu. It's often fried. It's often in kind of a brick shape, and it's fried or else maybe put on a sandwich. And it's usually featured in Greek restaurants, and it is also featured a lot in Greek cooking. But it is actually a unique cheese that originates from Cyprus, and it is trademarked, except for those 2 years from 2018 to 2020 when the country simply forgot to renew the license, which they promptly got back once they realized the gaffe. But technically, if you're eating halloumi that is Greek, it's not actually legally allowed to be called halloumi. It should be called something else because it is from Cyprus if it's halloumi. Once again, if you are interested in learning more about Cyprus and its hot property market, sign up for our free webinar here. There's no commitment and the webinar is completely free. And if you'd like to just learn more about Cyprus, get in touch with some of our local experts at the link following. And of course, please like and subscribe this channel if you'd like to hear more from Live and Invest Overseas each week about exciting destinations just like Cyprus. Happy trails!